YouTube strategies for picking up clients online. So by the end of this summit, you're going to learn the step-by-steps for attracting pre-qualified leads using simple YouTube videos. And you're going to learn about the 3 types of content that you can create that builds trust with your customers and actually motivates them in getting in touch with you and purchasing from you. You're also going to learn how to do all of this without a huge YouTube following. And you're going to see how you can use YouTube to create a stream of inbound leads. And this leads to a sustainable business. And lastly, we're going to talk about popular YouTube myths and mistakes most people make. Alright, so I thought we'd start off on a high note and talk about the myths and mistakes first. So myth number 1 is that you need a giant following for you to gain any attention on YouTube. Here's the fact. There are 2 different types of YouTube channels. There are the entertainment channels and the how-to channels, and they are completely different. It's the difference between entertainment versus function. For you to succeed with these how-to niches, you actually want targeted attention. In other words, you're not going to be creating videos for everyone, and you do not need a huge following to succeed in creating income. Myth number 2 is that money comes from advertising on videos. Well, it's true that you can make money through advertising. For the niche how-to channels, that is not going to be how you monetize. Here's the fact. You earn about $1,000 per 1 million views. So if you add that up, you actually need a lot of views for you to make any money. So for these how-to niches, as mentioned before, the money is made through coaching and product sales. Myth number 3 is that it's too late to get started on YouTube. But here's the fact. YouTube is actually quite different from Google. Nowadays, when you start a new website, it's very unlikely for your new website and your new website pages to get ranked on first page of Google. However, if you post a new video starting today and did a little bit of promotion, then it is very likely for you to get ranked on first page on YouTube. Okay, so in other words, you have a chance of getting discovered even if you are brand new. Here's another thing to note. Quality content rises up over time. So if you put out a piece of content that's really high in quality, it would rise above the rankings of the previous videos and stick to the top. Now, the opposite is true as well. If you put out low quality content, then it would sink to the bottom and it would basically disappear. Okay, so let's move on to mistakes. The first one is self-focused content. Now, many people get onto YouTube and they think they're gonna start to build this following by talking about whatever they want to talk about. Now, that is a mistake. You want to shift your focus from whatever you want to talk about to creating content that are being searched for by your target market. Here's a hint. People search for how-to videos on YouTube. So if you create how-to videos over your topic, then you are likely to become discovered. Mistake number 2 is quantity over quality. So instead of that, as mentioned before, you want to create content that's high in quality because high quality content rises to the top and low quality content gets buried. So 3 to 5 high quality videos can actually build your entire channel. And we're going to talk more about that in just a moment here. So mistake number 3 is waiting to get better equipment. So instead of doing that, you want to focus on creating high quality educational content and don't worry too much about getting a great camera, because when someone's looking to solve their own problems, they're not going to be caring too much about the high definition of the video or any of that stuff. And if you want to upgrade, then focus on the sound quality first, because that is the 80-20 of production quality. Alright, so let's move on to the overview of this entire process and see how we can start attracting clients with simple YouTube videos. Step 1 is to identify the content that the target market is searching for, and then go ahead to create the content that provides the answers to those problems. And then you want to provide a call to action for getting more help. Step 4 here is to use other online platforms to support these videos and to promote these videos, but this step is actually optional. Step number 5 is to receive inquiries through email and then follow them up with your paid offer. Step 6, rinse and repeat. Let's jump in now and let's take a look at some case studies. Case study number 1, this is for my copywriting service. So step number 1 is to identify the content the target customers are looking for. In this case, the target customers are small businesses and web-based business owners that are looking to increase their website conversion. They're looking for more sales. Now, I know through my own research that a lot of small business owners look to this book for information on improving their sales. This book is called Influence by Robert Cialdini. With that information, I move on to step 2, which is creating content over that searched for topic. So in this case, I shot this video, or I created this tutorial called the 6 Weapons of Influence. Now, the 6 Weapons of Influence is basically a framework that Robert Cialdini talks about within the Influence book. So I created a video talking about this framework. Step 3 is to provide call to action for getting more help. Now, in the description for this video, I have this call to action and linked for my website. And on my website, I have the call to action for getting in contact with me for copywriting or coaching related services. Step 4 is to use other platforms to promote videos, and this one is optional. So in this case, way later on, I actually posted this Reddit post that I mentioned before in the previous summits about the 3 newbie online copywriting mistakes that killed the sale. So this is the outside promotion. But this step itself is optional, but it does help you get more exposure for your video. Step 5, receive inquiries through email and follow them up with paid offers. So in this case, this person saw my video, got in contact with me, and this is through email. As you can see, the subject line is Cialdini style copywriting. And this person is interested in my services in helping him improve his conversions for his website. Step 6 is to rinse and repeat. So additional topics that I can post up are things like copywriting for websites, direct response advertisement sample, or a video on email marketing tutorial. Case study number 2. This is for my writing and publishing coaching service. So step 1, identify the content the target market is looking for. In this case, I went on to YouTube and used the search bar to type in Kindle publishing, and all these popular keywords basically popped up. Step 2 is to create content over topics and provide answers to problems. I shot a full in-depth tutorial on the topic, which is the Kindle Publishing Business Full Training Tutorial. On top of that, I shot another tutorial teaching people how to write non-fiction books, and this is a pretty in-depth tutorial. It's a step-by-step guide, so to speak. Moving on to step 3, provide call to action for getting more help. So in the description for these videos, I have the call to action to go to my website. And also I have the embedded annotation telling people to come to my website. So for more persuasive writing, publishing, and marketing strategies, come to my website. Step 4 is to use other online platforms to promote videos. In this case, I have the options of going on to these different subreddits to promote the video. So Beer Money subreddit or the Kindle publishing related Facebook groups. Step number 5 is to receive the inquiries through email and then follow them up with a paid offer. So these are the emails that I received. These people are looking for coaching info, and they want to be contacted as soon as possible. I received this email from this person who watched my videos and is now interested in getting into online business. Also, sometimes I get inquiries like these. This person wants to know about my online courses. Sometimes you get messages right on your YouTube channel. And then step number 6 is to rinse and repeat. In this case, I posted up more writing related tutorials. So book writing tips. Okay, recap with the process. Step number 1 is to identify the content that the target customers are searching for, and then create content over those topics, answering the questions. Step number 3 is to provide the call to action for getting more help, and step number 4 is to use other online platforms to promote the videos. Step number 5, receive the inquiries through email and then follow them up with your paid offer. Step number 6, rinse and repeat. Let's zoom out for a moment and see how this works. So the target customers experienced a problem and they go onto the YouTube platform looking for the solution. So the target customers find your video, and the video delivers value and positions you as the problem solver. So if they're motivated in solving that problem, then they get into contact with you for more help. Let's now move on to engaging video creation. In this portion, I'm going to show you the structure of creating your content so it captures your target customer's attention and motivates them to get into contact with you. Here are the components and the order of it. So first, you need the benefit-rich title. And then in the beginning of the video, you want to restate and elaborate on the benefit and identify the problem that the customers are experiencing. Number 3, you want to actually go ahead and teach a lesson, provide value, and position yourself as the problem solver. And number 4 is to give the call to action for contacting you. Let's now take a look at an example. So this topic is the topic of natural chronic fatigue relief, and the paid offer is the health coaching service. So component number 1 is benefit promising video title. In this case, it would look something like this: chronic fatigue, 3 steps to reversing chronic fatigue without medicine. And then restate and elaborate on benefit and identify problems. So in this case, I'd say something like this: I'm guessing you're waking up exhausted after a full night of sleep. You're probably crashing and burning at work right around 3 p.m. every day. If so, you're about to find 3 simple steps to naturally reverse these problems. Component number 3 is to teach the lesson, provide the value, and position yourself as a problem solver. So in this case, it's step number 1, step number 2, step number 3 to do all these things. Here's a note though: you want to give quality content that shows insight, and you want to provide legitimate value, or else the strategy will not work for you, because there's so much crap on YouTube already. If you're not providing legitimate value, then you're just gonna end up like everyone else. Also, don't be afraid to give too much away, because most people will still want to be held and led step by step through the process. Moving on to component number 4 is to give the call to action for contacting you. So at the end of the video or in the description, you can say something like this: find out more about the chronic fatigue reversal plan described in this video. Click here. Okay, recap. So benefit promising video title, restate and elaborate on the benefits, teach lesson and provide content and position yourself as the problem solver. Lastly, give the call to action. Moving on, these are the 3 types of value adding videos you can create. So let me break them down. The first one is concept without tactics. Now these videos are insightful, but they are not really usable just yet. Type number 2 is tactics without concepts. Now these are helpful, but not usable. Type number 3 is complete advice, and these introduce a new need. Let's go through some examples. First one, concept without tactics. So these are insightful, but not usable. The example topic is how to take beautiful photographs with DSLR camera. The video content would go something like this: the better your lenses are, the easier it is for you to make photographs look good. Understand how light affects outcome of pictures to master photography, and learn from an expert instructor to cut down on your learning curve. The call to action for that would sound something like this: learn about photography light theory and which lenses to buy. Contact Joe Bob for one-on-one coaching. You can tell that this video provides some insightful stuff, but it's not really applicable because it doesn't show you step by step how to go through the process. So it segues very easily into a coaching offer. Type number 2 is tactics without concepts. So these are helpful, but not usable just yet. So in this case, the example topic is how to set up a dropship e-commerce business. The video content would go something like this. It would list out the actual steps. So step number 1 is to identify 3 to 5 hot items to sell through market research. And then step number 2 is to contact suppliers to set up wholesale agreement. Step number 3, identify unique positioning for brand and set up URL for the store. Step number 4 is to create a 5-page minimalist online store. Number 5, purchase advertisements through Facebook. Number 6, track, test, and refine advertising until profitable. And the last step is to rinse and repeat and add new items to increase revenue. The call to action for this video would sound something like this: need help with the process? Questions? Click here for more information on my in-depth e-commerce business coaching program. You can see how this video gives the overview of all the steps, but it's still going to be tough for a person to figure out how to do it tactically because it doesn't give out the specific details. So again, that segues very easily into this coaching program. Type number 3 is to give complete advice and introduce new needs. Getting started, you would provide the concepts. So the concepts might sound something like this. Write company-tailored resumes that highlight relevant experiences. Identify keywords companies screen for and ensure that they are included. Use numbers, concrete references instead of ambiguous qualities or subjective abilities. And then moving on to giving the tactics. Step 1 is to research companies to work for, network with recruiters. Step 2, learn about the problems of the companies that they are looking to resolve. And then step 3 is to craft resumes that positions you as the perfect candidate for solving those problems. The call to action for this video would sound something like this. Looking for tips and strategies to ace your interview and land your dream position? Contact Joe Bob to learn about the Job Interview Mastery Coaching Program. Click here. So how does this work? Well, if you take a look, it gives the conceptual advice and also the tactical advice, which helps the person solve the problem of not being able to write a resume that catches recruiters' attention. But once someone gets the call back for an interview, they're going to need to know how to ace the interview for them to get the job, right? So that segues into this coaching offer of the Job Interview Mastery Coaching Program. Here's the note. Provide complete advice as much as you can, because this kind of video content gives you the best chance of getting these people to contact you for your coaching service. Now, here's the final note on YouTube client acquisition. I believe it's the best way for you to create a long-term sustainable business and create a stream of inbound clients. It's one of the most powerful ways for you to build your business, so to speak. If you ask around, most people are actually really intimidated by this video creation process. And what does this mean? Well, more opportunities for you and me. Lastly, we all still have a chance of building a channel with quality content. This is what I want you to do now. First, go on over to the website to grab the cheat sheet and presentation slides. You want to subscribe, playlist, favorite, and comment, and get started by identifying 3 to 5 top questions that your target customers are asking, and get started with creating one video over one of those topics and take action.